Alright, so this video is about an anonymous message I got last week on Tumblr, and it followed what I assumed to be me posting my pictures from Comic-Con. This very kind message said, "You're nothing but a fake-ass Star Wars nerd dressing up as a Twi'lek for attention only. I bet you chose to do it because you knew Star Wars would be popular this year with the new movie, and you're nothing but an attention whore jumping on the bandwagon. Plus, it wasn't even a good cosplay or a real character. Twi'leks are solid-colored, dumbass. Stick to whatever stupid fandom you belong to, and leave Star Wars alone." So, lovely, right? Very nice. I have a lot of issues with that message. My biggest issue with all of the message is the assumption, the very sexist assumption, that because I am a girl, I don't know anything about Star Wars. And that, I only cosplayed that for attention because I knew that the new movie was going to be popular. Number one, the new movie hasn't even come out yet. Number two, Star Wars has been popular since 1977. Number three, people can cosplay who they want. And, it comes down to the fact that nerd and geek culture isn't, a bad thing anymore. It's very, very popular. I mean, take Avengers or, any of the new Marvel or, I guess, DC movies that have been coming out. Everybody loves them. Most everybody loves them. It's not a bad thing to be a nerd or a geek like it used to. You're not going to get your head shoved in a toilet because you like Iron Man. However, within the nerd and geek culture, there is always kind of the negative underbelly where a person will see a very attractive woman cosplaying a very good character, their costume looks amazing. And it seems that there's always someone who will be like, I bet that they don't even know much about that character. I bet they chose it just from Google Images. And that is an incredibly sexist thing to think. Just based on appearance of a woman that she obviously couldn't be into comics or into this fandom. I mean, there isn't any requirement for being a fan of these things. And while I don't feel... Are you leaving, Nego? See ya. Anyways, while I don't feel that I need to defend myself in any way to this, because I have been a Star Wars fan for as long as I can remember. My mom was into Star Wars. She collected all the action figures and stuff, And there's no reason that anybody has to justify being a fan of anything. So just be aware of this, but I would like to kind of give some context to, I guess it is defending myself, but to show that, I am a little above and beyond what would be a fake-ass Star Wars nerd. My first point of evidence that I have had ready is this lovely little book called The Wildlife of Star Wars. In middle school, I found it in the library and I would check it out all the time. I have since bought my own. I did not steal it, but I absolutely adore it. I also have two other books that I couldn't find, but I have the Star Wars Spacecraft one that goes through and gives you the blueprints and details of all the different spaceships and stuff, and the Alien Species one that goes through the humanoid ones, not the animal species, and they're both so awesome, and I also have a Star Wars poster up on my poster wall, and I happen to have cosplayed a Twi'lek for Comic-Con. And, I put a good chunk of money into it while, my costume was kind of put together. I was able to find different aspects of it and put it together. And then, I made some different bands for the Leku and the arms and, altered some things. But, I would say that's a little more than a fake-ass Star Wars nerd. So, all in all, I realize this is getting really long and kind of rambly. But thank you for watching it this far if you have. That's pretty darn nice of you. I would like to say a couple things before I end. Number one, Twi'leks are not always solid colored. I did quite a bit of research when I was coming up with, the design for my character and stuff. There's no canon source that says that Twi'leks are only solid colors. They come in a rainbow of colors. And there are also two little mix Twi'lek human children that are multicolored, so I didn't feel that it was much of a stretch to create my own Twi'lek that was multicolored. Also, Twi'lek is spelled with an apostrophe in between the twi and lek. You spelled it wrong every single time. The very last time you said Star Wars, you said Star War, which I find to be absolutely hilarious. And, you know, for as much as your message made me angry when I first read it, now I just look back at it and laugh. And you gave me a good reason to make a really, this hasn't been quick, but quickly edited video. So, I hope in the future you do a little bit more thinking before you send rude messages, and hopefully you won't send rude messages at all. So, see ya.